geopolitical conflicts and cautionary voices from the West.
The clash began near the disputed Tamontom temple complex, where Thai officials claimed to have detected a Cambodian surveillance drone followed by Cambodian troops advancing to set up logistics positions. According to Thailand, after issuing verbal warnings, their forces came under fire, which set off a wider confrontation along the frontier. Cambodian rockets and artillery then struck Thailand's Surin and Sisaket provinces, reportedly hitting civilian homes, a gas station, a hospital, and public roads. In response, the Royal Thai Air Force launched airstrikes with F-16 fighter jets, targeting what they said were two Cambodian military positions responsible for the attacks. Thai officials insisted the strikes were precise and proportionate, but Cambodia rejected that claim, accusing Thailand of bombing a public road near a Buddhist shrine and endangering civilians. So far, Thailand and Cambodia have disputed their border for well over a century. At its core are strategic heights and ancient temples claimed by both sides. Key contested areas include Tamontom, Takwai, Chongchom, Chonganma, and Chongbok. But the prime disputed area is the Preah Vihear Temple, a Hindu complex built during the height of the Khmer Empire. Renowned for its vast power and reach, the Khmer Empire left a legacy that continues to shape the region's identity to this day. Both Cambodia and Thailand consider themselves the rightful heirs, making the temple a point of national pride and ongoing contention. Time had passed, and Thailand's claim was considered irrelevant. However, while the International Court awarded the temple to Cambodia, it made no ruling on the land surrounding the complex. And this is a classic example of how legal decisions don't always settle real-world disputes. Here's the thing. The mountain range where the temple sits forms a natural border between Thailand and Cambodia, but the temple itself is perched atop a cliff. The only way to access it is through Thailand's side. So by resolving one dispute, the ruling inadvertently sparked another.
We'll give you the temple, but you can't get to it because it's in the neighboring country.
Or you have to come through our country to go to the temple.
So
yeah, that's the thing about these.
I just want to point out that was by the Caspian Report. We'll put
Yeah,
the
he's
link.
phenomenal. One of my favorite YouTube channels on geopolitics. He's actually an Azeri from Azerbaijan, and he gives just really balanced reporting, great animations about conflicts all over the world. He's super in depth and yeah, very educational, especially on this conflict. His videos are extremely informative, so I highly recommend watching and subscribing to Caspian Report.
Yeah, we'll put the link down in the comments so that ultimately anyone that has an interest in learning more about the things that typically aren't reported really in the United States, but want to understand a little bit more of what's going on around the world. We're just scratching the surface here, but this is exemplary of things happening all over the world. It's not just there.
Yeah, to be honest, this conflict did catch me by surprise. Obviously, having grown up in the Middle East, I'm very familiar with all the conflicts there. Conflicts of Europe are just a continuation of history, basically, so I'm very familiar with those too. Even the Azerbaijan or Armenia conflict was not surprising at all. But this one between Thailand and Cambodia did catch me by surprise. I wasn't expecting a hot kinetic war over access to a temple, stuff like that. The funny thing is, it seems, I mean, it depends on who you ask. Both sides blame each other, but it seems that the Cambodians did start this war. And that's a little interesting and ironic because Thailand is a country with 3 to 5 times the population, drastically more wealthy. Cambodia is intertwined with basically Chinese gangs and cartels who do a lot of just illegal activity. A lot of scams are operated in Cambodia. The country is a little bit backwards and they're more aligned with China, whereas Thailand is more aligned with the United States, and therefore they have F-16s and pretty advanced weapons. So the fight was very much kind of one-sided. It seems like Cambodia was shooting MLRS systems, which are rockets, into civilian areas in Thailand, and Thailand was using much more advanced technology to use precision munitions to attack the Cambodian side. Listen, it's sad and devastating anytime there's death on either side, but it seems like what it stems from is that the ancient Khmer Empire, and that's not the Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia, which is separate, but they would also lays claim to the same Khmer Empire, but the Khmer Empire was one of the greatest empires in Southeast Asia, and I think they existed until about 300 or 400 years ago. And both Thailand and Cambodia considered themselves to be ancestors, or consider the Khmer Empire to be their ancestors, and they consider the heritage, and that's why these temples are so critical and important for people on both sides. Cambodia also has a beef with Vietnam because part of the Khmer Empire continued into southern Vietnam, and that's where Ho Chi Minh City is, which is one of the largest cities in Vietnam as well. It seems like they may have initiated it to gain support. So having an external enemy really helps rally the people around the troops, and it really helped the prime minister of Cambodia gain a lot of attention and national fervor in his country. It happened the same in Thailand as well until the Cambodian prime minister leaked a conversation with the Thai prime minister that really pissed off a huge swath of the Thai people. And the Thailand is not a democracy. It's controlled by a military junta, and they basically, I think that they threw the Thai prime minister into house arrest or something. So even though Thailand is a much stronger country, it seems that at least behind the scenes, Cambodia having this card up their sleeves of this recording of the Thai prime minister was smart and tactful. Thankfully, 3 or 4 days ago, there was a ceasefire, and that's obviously very refreshing, and hopefully it stays standing.
Yeah, no, we can only hope. And again, they're not worrying about what type of blue jeans they're wearing over there half the time.
Yeah. Yeah. For them, blue jeans is a luxury, period. Any type of blue jeans, mostly the pants, but just in general. If you're trying to survive, you're trying to eat, you're trying to not be bombarded.
Yeah, any region that obviously is under threat, under attack or threat of attack or war, it just obviously puts things in a completely different light. And where here it's really easy to throw words around. You're trying to market some jeans, you're a Nazi, and you want to do things in the Middle East. We have a mayoral candidate for arguably one of the most important cities in the country, New York City, and the Democratic representative for mayor of New York, Mamdani, he's in his own words. Let's see what he's saying about really the Middle East. It's not like he has no opinion, right? So it's not like we're immune, and it's not like we don't stir the pot in other countries. So what happens abroad, we can play a role in, and sometimes some voices might actually make things worse. Let's see what his own words. Let's see what he says.
Officials who refuse to acknowledge this genocide. When I get to 3, I want you to say ceasefire now. 1, 2, 3. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! I want to ask you one final thing, to join me in a chant. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Eid Mubarak.
So that was him at a Muslim center in Jamaica, New York. Obviously, again, this was, and again, for those that aren't clear, when they were saying ceasefire, what they wanted is, yeah, so we had terrorists essentially go and attack on Israeli soil, but Israel can't defend itself. We don't want any retaliation.
Exactly. On October 7th, they weren't saying ceasefire. They weren't telling Hamas to ceasefire. Even now, they're not telling Hamas ceasefire, release the hostages, give up your arms, and so the war can end. That's not what they're saying. By ceasefire now, it sounds like such a beautiful, peaceful slogan, but in reality, what they're saying is basically just stop the Jews from defending themselves. That's the issue with the whole ceasefire is these people were celebrating on October 7th and October 8th before any bombs landed in Gaza. These people were dancing in the streets. They were dancing in our streets. Go back to Pakistan and dance in Pakistan, right? Why are you coming to America to dance here, right? And these are the same people who were dancing on 9/11. Don't get confused one bit, right? So these people, they hate the West, they hate America, and they hate Israel because Israel represents the West. In Dar al-Islam, the hardcore land of Islam is what they will tell you. So if Islam is a religion of conquest, and if they can't conquer the world, it defeats the purpose of the religion. And by Israel being right there in their face, successful, vibrant, multicultural, it's just an affront to them. And that's why they first want to destroy the little Satan, Israel, before they can attack the big Satan, the United States.
So now the conversation has evolved from basically a ceasefire to granting Palestine statehood, which is something that's been, again, circulating around for a long time. Canada has just come forward saying that they're absolutely going to support the notion of a new Palestinian state. And obviously, there's all of these half-truths that are floating around. Again, a lot of this marketing sounds great. Everyone, of course, wants no war and everyone wants ceasefires and so forth. But someone gets punched in the nose, they should be entitled to punch back. Let's put up a couple of clips here that perhaps give a different side to the narrative of Palestine being granted some new statehood. Here we go.
The recognition of Palestine by Western powers. Do you understand why this is taking place?
Sir, let me explain something to you. If you are willing to have your daughters 30 meters away from terrorists who have said again and again, very unashamedly, that they will carnage, massacre, rape, and burn them because they are British or Christian or whatever it is that you belong to, and you feel that your government should not do anything at all, plus your government would be giving food to those specific people who wish and claim again that they will ravage, massacre, burn, and rape your daughters, and you feel that this is a normal situation, and you feel that it is correct to give them a state, which they had since 2005. They had independence. And what did they do with that independence? They carnaged their own territory. Now, Canada has the biggest number of Muslim Brotherhood members in the entire globe. I wish them good luck. In fact, sir, I wish you and the British people a lot of luck. A lot of luck, because you will, unfortunately, and I pray for you from the bottom of my heart as one mother to the mothers of the United Kingdom, that you will be safe, because you are being overtaken by extremist Islamist forces.
Hamas chose today to release footage of an emaciated 24-year-old Israeli hostage in a dark tunnel in Gaza being forced to dig his own grave. They did this because they are laughing at you. They are laughing at how they have darvoed the entire world with the Western media issuing its propaganda and doing Hamas's job for Hamas. Hamas have only ever wanted one thing since October 7th. That's why they took the hostages. They want to prolong the war. They want to maximize damage on both sides. And they want to put out into the world a propagandist story that is pure Darvo to blame Israel for all of the suffering in Gaza, even though Hamas has created the infrastructure for all of the suffering in Gaza, including stealing aid from all of the aid trucks, working with the UN to make sure that the aid cannot be facilitated into Gaza, hiding all of their tunnels, their tunnel shafts and hatches and all of their weapon storage in civilian populated areas and buildings such as hospitals and mosques and schools, using their own civilians as human shields, all of this. Hamas are the ones that are maximizing human suffering in Gaza. And they're
True, right?
Yeah. So there are a few things I want to kind of address. First is 2005. She mentioned that in the video. I was there it was called Gush Katif, which is where the Jewish settlements were in part of Gaza, because Gaza used to be mixed area with Jews and Arabs. Obviously, the Arabs were attacking Jews, shooting mortars into people's homes, shooting Cornet missiles into school buses filled with kids.
The truth isn't always pleasant. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And for more, watch our other clips and shorts and the entire episode 19 of the YoJoeShow podcast.